Well, thank you all for joining in today. We have Keith and Angela here with our podcast and our second homeowner that has said, let's do this, Ryan. Let's have some good times and tell us a story. So let's get into it. Tell us y'all's story of R&D Custom Builder and the custom build we did for y'all.
Well, our story started in October 2023. Whereas that we pulled the trigger. We knew we were coming to Texas, so it was a matter of pulling the trigger to start the journey. So we decided to do it. We made arrangements with a realtor. I don't know if I can say the realtor's name.
Sure, absolutely.
A realtor. We set up. A friend told us about a realtor that they had down in Texas. Her name was Zeb Gordon, and we set up a date with her. We had 3 days with her. We came in on a Thursday. We had a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And she picked us up, and just started taking us around. I think we met you guys on the second day, and please interrupt. I think it was the second day. I think it was the second day we met you of our looking. So we went to 2 developers who did prefabricated homes already built, and then we can switch them up and do it. And it just wasn't meeting what we wanted.
Sure.
And then when we finally got to you guys, we met Elizabeth. I told Elizabeth was our
way in. That was she was amazing.
Elizabeth reeled us in so well. Elizabeth did a wonderful job. So this is a plug for her, but let me tell you something. Elizabeth was outstanding. Because Elizabeth came to us, and the first thing she asked, what do y'all want your house to look like? What do you like to do? What do you want? And then that's when Angela went on and told her, and you was just telling her.
I was living in a 3-story house.
Oh, my gosh.
So I wanted no stairs. I just wanted no stairs. And she said, we can do that.
And we told her we like to entertain. We just gave her the picture of what we wanted our house to look like. Because the other developers, we just couldn't get it the way we wanted, because we wanted to build a casita. That's what it was. That was the biggest thing, was the casita. And for my mother-in-law, for her mom, and the casita kept putting us out of our price range. Every time we went and we talked about it, it was just way out of our budget. So when we came to Elizabeth and to you guys, and we told Elizabeth what we wanted to do, and we told her about the casita pushing us out, and she told us the price was the same price. Y'all price was the same as everybody else's, which took us over our price point. But then we told her what we wanted. Well, Elizabeth said, if we could design a house for you to build this like apartment on one side of the house for your mother-in-law, what'd you think? I was like, do it. If you can give us a suite, because we wanted a suite of our own, on one side, and we wanted Angela wanted a big kitchen, we wanted a big family room because we like to entertain, and we wanted everything to flow out towards the back because we wanted to put a pool in there and everything, because this is our forever home. So this is what we built, was our forever home. And Elizabeth said, well, let's see if we can get together and we'll get the architect to build the home. And we was like, cool. And this was this weekend. So we left her there doing this for us. And then we went on and looked for land. And then we found out land up in Bulverde. And then when by the time we got back to Virginia, she sent us the plans. And they were it was a great looking plan.
Actually, for me, it was better than a casita.
Yeah, it was.
Because I'm thinking about my mom when she's older.
Sure.
So now it's fine, but when she's older, if it was a casita, we would have to go outside. And
she would have to go outside and come to y'all.
Correct. So now it's just a door separating us.
Right. I mean, you walk up to your front porch and there's a door. Your mom has her own door from the porch, and then she can enter the home also. So she doesn't want to come into the home, she can do an exit.
So
she has a little kitchen and her own bathroom.
Exactly. Everything.
But she has her own kitchen. She has a little dining room, and she has a little small living room.
Yeah, she has a whole apartment.
Sure.
It's a nice apartment size home that she has attached to the house, like I said. So we did a lot of forward thinking when we got this house built and designed through you guys. We were doing a lot of forward thinking, and that's the other thing. So that's a part where I think Elizabeth and Brett came in really well with us, because we was telling them what we wanted, and then they were giving us ideas on how we can do it. Because we was like, we're looking at this when we're 70 and not 58 and 59 when we started. We're looking at it, well, how I want our house to be and living when we're 70 years old. So that was a lot of input that Elizabeth and Brett gave us when we started, because when we finally got it. So here's the other one, is like the story is with the house plans, the house was still over budget. We were still out of our price point. So we had to cut. And Elizabeth helped us come within a very acceptable design. She did. You guys did. And we were still a little bit off price, and we didn't know if we was going to be able to do it, and Elizabeth said, Keith, give me a minute. She says, let me, she says, I'll build her. The owners, they always give me somebody that we can help. She says, so let's, because we were, I was upset. I was like, oh my God, we got to, we can't do this, and we have to start over again.
Right.
Because we were still out of price point enough where that it could be a deal breaker. Mm-hmm. Elizabeth said, no, Keith, let me do this, and I'll call you back. And I said, okay. And we were sitting in our entertainment room in our house having a drink. I'll never forget the day. And Elizabeth called us, and she said, R&D agreed with everything that you have. We're going to build your house the way it is. And we came within $1 of our price point.
Did we know the price point, or did we just
absolutely.
Hit it?
Y'all knew what our budget.
We just cut it to get into your budget.
Y'all allowed everything to still stay as it was, and y'all did everything, whatever your magic that you did. We didn't have to change anything on the house, and stay within our price point by $1.
So I'm glad you brought that up and talked about the custom build, because you don't know how many customers come in and sit down. They're like, how does this work? Like, do I need to bring plans? Do I need to have, and it's because so many builders don't do what we do, right? Mm-hmm. We start with, tell me what you want. And you tell me what you want, and that's what we want to draw. And of course, we all have budgets and means we need to stay within. But if you're willing to make an investment, we want to build the home that's in that investment. That's what you want. So it makes me warm inside to know that, yes, it's actually working, and it isn't that hard. I mean, was the process hard to draw your own custom plan with us?
No, and that was the thing. It was so seamless. Like I said, when we finally got the design that we wanted, we approved the house that we wanted to do, and we started moving forward with the loans and everything, the construction loans and all the other good stuff. Then it was the time for us to go and buy the land, and we bought the land, and now let's start to build. That's what I was getting anxious about. Let's start breaking ground, because we had a plan to be here by 2025, 2026. And that was the other great part about it was the experience moving into the build. Mm-hmm. So the plans was great. That blessing happened, then start building. So when we found the land and we came out, Brett came out and he shot his azimuth and whatever else he does to make sure that the house is going to be leveled and everything. The first time we did it, he was like, oh yeah, no steps, we're good, because the house had no steps. The plans had no steps. And they did, because that our only deal breaker, a total deal breaker, if we had steps. So, and we let Brett know, you guys know that, and that was it. So we came down in April, I'll never forget, April of 2024, to look at the house with the plans. And we're out on the land, and I'll never forget the day. Angela, we see the plans sitting on the back of Brett's truck. And I don't know if it was Angela or me, and I said, Angela, are those steps on these plans?
So, your plans do have steps on.
Angela said,
I can do steps.
Yeah, they do have steps. We called Brett. It was like, Brett was over there doing whatever, and we like, Brett, when were you guys going to tell us we got steps on our land? He said, well, Keith, we reshot it, and we found out that the land goes down a little bit further, this and that, so we're going to have to put steps on this side of the house. And just so happened, it was on the side of the house where my mother-in-law going to be living.
Oh, no.
And it was 7 steps. So I'm like, wait a minute, we can't have 7 steps for my mother. And I instantly was like, no, we got to come together. Nope, this is the deal breaker. This is it. And I tell you, I'm going to tell you just like this. When I told Brett how we were dissatisfied with the steps and where they were, I think it took about an hour, because we ended up leaving and going to we had to meet with Amy Brooks that day. Later, start designing the house, right? I told Brett we need to meet with so Brett said, okay, Keith, let me go back to R&D. Let me get with the architect and Elizabeth and somebody else. And by the time we got to Amy from Bulverde, to start doing anything, we were on a conference call with Amy, picking out stuff, talking about it. He's sending me pictures of the way they did the redesign of the house. He said, we can redesign it. We can do this. How about we put it on a ramp? We got to have steps because the way it is, steps is going to be.
Oh, you have them topoed here a lot.
Right. So we're going to have some kind of steps. But so what we did was the design of the house was supposed to be, my mother's interest supposed to be on the far side of the house. But we moved it over to the porch where we walk in, just be on the side, and it'll be 5 steps there. This is Brett telling me all this on the phone. 5 steps there, and then we'll build an ADA ramp that you can just go up, and you have that option, either the steps or the ramp. And I said, send me the plans, let me see what it looks like. And he did, and we looked at the plans, and we were okay with that.
It's beautiful.
It was beautiful. It was great. It was a great design. It was a great fix. What they did was, and this is the part that really impressed me about you guys the most, was y'all got together within that hour. The architect guy drew up, redone that portion of the house, however you do it, and he got it to us within like an hour or two max. And it was great. It was something that we could live with, and that's what we have today.
We've talked about this in the past, but when Dustin and I partnered up, we were talking a little bit before we started here, but when Dustin and I partnered up, I told Dustin we need an architect in-house for that reason.
Yeah.
Because when a customer needs something now, I can say, hey, we need it now, and we can make that happen.
He did.
And, and if a customer's like, hey, I need this home flipped because of to fit needs of topo or whatever, we make it happen immediately. So that was one thing that we did talk about when we started R&D was that's a must. That and interior design. So we have several interior designers, but Amy Brooks also.
Then that part, that experience. So this, like I said, this trip was, so October 23rd was when we got the whole thing, got the plans.
Right.
So April came when we saw the steps, and then that's when we had to come to do our design. And so let me tell you about your designers. They had us. So let's go before that. So they emailed us in Virginia like, hey, you coming in April. We need 3 days. We were like, okay. Well, here's everything that you need. Start picking stuff out. Oh my God, was that overwhelming. So me and my wife, we're in Virginia, and we're like, okay, so I was like, all right, Angela, we got to do this. Remember when we built our last house, we had a lot of stuff to do. So I was looking at links. I was going to try and find things. So they told us to do as much pre-picking before we get
there. It helps in the meeting. Sure.
Right. So me, because I know who I am, I was picking things. Me and Angela was going through links. We were going through websites. What do you think here? What do you think there? We had so much stuff picked out prior to going to Texas in April to do the design. So that when we got down there, we did meet Amy. Amy was totally impressed. She was like, wow, these people.
Amy told us that we should give a class, and it was not us. It was him.
Yeah, on how to do
there you go, Keith.
He was sending me links at work. He did, in all honesty, he did 90%.
Wow.
He was on it. When we got here to the design center, 95% of everything was already done. So we didn't need all the time they thought they were going to need with us.
Yeah, and we did real good with that. And the other part that I loved about Amy and her team, because I cannot think of any of the other ladies. I was trying the other day trying to figure out who else was it. Amy, because we had the lady who did the bathroom.
Is that Chrissy?
Stuff. Chrissy, that's her name. Yep, we had Chrissy, and we had one other lady. But what I loved about the design team, Amy was outstanding. She focused on us and just us. She didn't have 5 other people waiting to, shuffling. She focused on the McGlawns, those 3 days.
Yeah.
And what she did was, I love the way they had budgeted us for these particular price points. And what they done, which was really good, was they was like giving us great ideas that will stay within our price point. We did not go over budget. I think we went over budget only on one thing, and it was the cabinets, because we wanted extra cabinets in the family room. Everything else, Amy and them helped us pick out things, but I think we stayed on price point or below on everything else.
Yeah.
And that was amazing to me.
Well, that's awesome. You picked all this stuff from over there, because most of the time when somebody's out of state, a homeowner of ours, you know, it's challenging because when they come here and they're only here for 2 days and we try to cram it all in. But now what we've done since y'all's build is we have a design center in our model. So
Right.
a lot of the stuff can be picked there now. Yes. So
Okay.
we
good.
made
So
a one-stop
good.
shop.
Oh,
Okay.
great,
Now,
great.
and then if you choose to like, oh yeah, this, you know, we have, I don't know, probably 30 plumbing fixtures in there. But let's say you want more than that, you can still go to the supply house and pick the stuff. But we brought it into one.
Okay.
So
Oh, that's
flooring,
really good. Oh,
lighting,
good.
cabinets, countertops, everything's in.
Save on a trip.
Save on trip.
Yeah, that is
So
really
one thing we added, because we did hear some people saying it gets overwhelming. There's a lot to do.
is a
So
lot.
when I hear these things, in my mind, it's like, okay, what can I do as a builder that's providing you this service to make it easier for you guys?
Yeah.
So that's me working behind the scenes saying, okay, let's get this process better. Let's get it
Yeah.
more efficient. Let's get it, more cost effective. How can we do that? So, well, I'm glad you had a good experience on
Yeah, the lighting was great too. Whoever the lighting company that you guys used, the rep from the lighting place,
Brenda?
she was really good. She
Yeah,
was
Attorney
she was funny.
Lighting?
Yeah, she was
Yep.
funny.
Yep.
When we got in that place, like we was totally, because we had no idea. Well, we had an idea. So one of the funniest parts that stuck out to me, and Angela can tell hers, but was we wanted a big
Island?
in our home, right? So R&D, y'all designed this island. That thing is
9 feet.
by 9 feet, I think, by 7 feet.
It's beautiful.
It's a big old. So I knew the measurements. I just wasn't thinking about the lighting that had to go and sit on them. So we picked out these little tiny. It's so funny.
We picked out cute lightings that will
cute
go over
little
our
lights
old sink.
That will go over a sink that we had now. Yeah. So when we got to tuning lighting, right, and we met the lady, so we thought, oh yeah, we got our lights picked out. She says, well, what'd you pick? So I showed her the one. She says, Mr. McGlawn, nah. She says, no, sir. Them little tiny things ain't gonna light up nothing in your house. So then she showed me these big, huge lights. That was a sample of what should be in our home. I was like, my God, okay, I get it. I now I get how big this island is going to be. And come to think of it, when she picked out this one light, it was the light that we ended up picking because we ended up liking the one that she showed us. And we got them sitting in the house to this day.
There you go. So lights
like
it
I
up
said,
plenty good?
Oh, my God, yes, plenty.
You use that entertainment island a lot?
Yeah.
So I'm going to be honest with you, when you come off of your garage and into your hallway, this is the same way I remodeled my home here about a year and a half ago. Same way. I come in, utility room's there. I can go into my closet, all right? And then I can go out of there into the pantry's right there. So that the flow of that coming from the garage into the kitchen primary suite area is just, in my picture, perfect.
Yes.
That is great.
It's so functional.
Yes.
And then when you got your dirty clothes, your utilities right there.
Yep.
So yeah, I love that side of it. So tell me, I know we had a little fun in your master closet there, right?
Oh, that was good. So closet and the bathroom was
Tell me what your favorite part of that closet is.
So the favorite part was when we went to design this thing. I forgot about that. We was telling Elizabeth that we wanted to have her closet and his closet. And the big thing was, remember, her closet had to be big. Her side had to be bigger than my side, and I was telling Elizabeth, "No, my side gonna be bigger than her side." So, and that was the big thing. So, and we ended up getting a really good closet. Do you remember that?
The best part is my vanity.
Yeah, and she wanted to get a.
That's your favorite part? What do you like about it?
That I can do everything in my closet.
Okay.
I can put my makeup on. Everything is just right there.
Yeah, you put yours in the closet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not in the bathroom, which is nice because if you're taking a long hot shower, you get steamy in there. You don't want the steam when you're trying to get ready to go out. So that was very functional as well.
Yeah. And
I know
then
we built you some extra shelves in your closet on your side.
Yeah, and that's what I did. So we did. They build a custom. Build the shelves to hold my hats because I wear a lot of hats, and they made sure they made accommodation for my hats and my shoes because I have a lot of shoes too. So that was another thing that was the big thing, and putting power into the closet so that we can have things in there like my watch winder, the speaker, and everything else that we can do in the closet while we're getting dressed for whatever we're getting dressed for.
So we customize your closets
Yes,
just
we
like we
did.
do for every home. If you're building a home wherever, whatever price point, every closet's custom. So I'm glad we could meet your needs for your hats and I think watch collection.
Yep, we had a watch collection.
And in the guest closet
What's the other thing? Yeah, I was going to
that
talk about the
he
guest
has
closet.
it. The shelves were custom for DVDs
To hold,
from ceiling to floor.
because I got about 1,500 DVDs and Blu-rays for my collection, so they built shelves in there for me to hold them all. Actually, it holds them all too,
So you got 1,500 DVDs,
and Blu-rays up in
and
there.
we built you shelves for every one of them.
Yeah, we did. And
I
the other
didn't
thing,
know about that. I didn't see that.
And the
I-
other thing, another thing was the bathroom. So one of the things that y'all did for us that I thought was really cool, that we gave you the idea, and I forget who we gave it to because we told Elizabeth, and Elizabeth said somebody was going to do it. I think it was your architect who did this for us, but we wanted a shower room. We didn't want a bathtub and then a shower.
Yeah, we call it European style. So your tub is in the shower.
Right. So we wanted that. And so you guys were like, okay, we want to design something for you. So we didn't tell you, we just told you what we wanted. We didn't.
And we let them
and we
design
let
it.
them
We
design it.
didn't know what it
Yeah,
was
we didn't know
gonna
what it was going to be. So we got the plans for the bathroom and we saw it. And I was like, gee, that's a big, it was huge on the plan. I was like, wow, that's big. That's going to be nice. So that was the most exciting part. Then when we saw it up close and personal, we saw the shower heads. So we had like 3 shower heads, and then we got the tub. That was a good experience too, picking out the tub at the design center, because we got into the tub to make sure we can both fit into the tub, so we can have in the design center. We took pictures too, just so you'll know.
I think Chrissy had fun. She sees it all the time.
They did. They were totally cracking up as when we got in the tub together. I was like, come on, baby, we got to get and make sure we can fit, because I don't want a tub that only one of us can fit at a time. We got to both be able to fit in the tub if we want to get together in the tub.
Yeah, we want to be in the tub, we want to be together. Make sure it fits.
So, and we did that.
So that functional bathroom, you like it the way the shower's
Oh my God,
tubs in the shower?
It's great. It is. So if I want to take a shower and she wants to take a bath, we can do it at the same time we want to.
There you go.
And it is wonderful. Everybody who's seen it loved our shower. I'm sorry, it's called the wet room. That's what we call it.
The wet room.
The wet room. Yeah. So, but that was the other good thing that they did was they designed it. You guys. I keep saying they, but you guys designed us a great bathroom.
No. We're a team. I'm glad you brought that up, because yes, we feel like we're a team, and if we're only as strong as our weakest link, right? So if you had a bad experience, I need to try to figure out a way to make that better. So
Yeah.
So outside of your vanity in the bathroom, Angela, what's your favorite part of the home? Outside of that one,
That's my favorite.
it's still your favorite. Okay, second favorite.
Yeah, that is my favorite part. I love the entire house. I mean, I love everything about the house. It is our dream home.
Good.
What I really liked about R&D though is after I moved in the house and I started meeting neighbors, I started hearing stories of their builds, and I just couldn't imagine what people went through, and we went through nothing like that, and we were in another state. You know, we got phone calls every Friday with updates.
Yep,
and
we sure
that
did.
Justin?
Yep.
what is that
Brett started
builder?
it, but yeah.
The app with the pictures on it.
Yeah, Builder Trend.
Builder's Trend.
Builder's Trend. But we got an update every Friday. And it used to be Keith would have a list of questions that he would ask, you know, and the questions would get answered. But after a while, I guess Justin could almost anticipate, you know, what some of the questions would be, and you guys would call, and a lot of stuff would be answered before he could ask his questions.
Brett was one that was really good at it. Brett started understanding what I wanted, and then Brett would have, and then Justin picked up right off where Brett left, because when we got the second Justin, because not the first Justin was filling in for Brett until the second Justin got in. So just so we'll know. So that's what happened, because we went to Brett, then the first Justin, then the second Justin. The first Justin did a good job too, because he did the whole foundation inspection with us when we got down there on our foundation day.
Yeah,
So
I think he
was
took
there.
you through frame stage.
Yeah, he did. He
And
took
then
us to the
Mr. Slee stepped in.
Yes,
took
and
you.
then
Yep.
Justin went the rest of the way. But Brett had started, especially when we got to the frame stage of the house. Like Angela said, what I want to say is you guys was always there. You guys helped us put cameras up, because we put cameras up, and you guys helped us do a found a tree for me, because I wanted to have cameras to see what was going on in Virginia, you know, and you guys helped with that, and you guys was very transparent when it came to that. I think that is what is the best thing about you guys, is your total transparency is continue to always do it, because it is wonderful from up until even today, Brett coming to my house for something that's going on with my driveway. Total transparency. Keith out, the construction, the concrete guy told us this. Let's look at it. He's there at the house now taking pictures so he can help fix this
I just got
problem.
the video right before we started this.
Yeah, so he can find out what's going on with it. I mean, this has been from day one in April with the food bob about the stairs all the way up until now, and we're talking about April 2024, and we're now in. What are we in? April of 26.
Yeah.
This is
so for 2 years we're still.
You guys are still here doing exactly what you said you was going to do when you first told me you wanted to build my house.
I have an example.
Okay.
Of, things happen.
Yes, of course.
We're all human, so hiccups happen. I wanted a push button for the garbage disposal. And when the sink was put up, they didn't do the push button. Mm-hmm. And I said, we're supposed to have the push button. And Brett flipped a couple of pages and said, yep, sure was. And then the next day, there was a push button.
When was getting close? Yeah, getting close to close.
My neighbor paid for plugs on the floor.
For plugs, okay.
And they didn't put the plugs on the floor. And he told them. And he was told, we're done. So if you want it done now, you need to pay us. But he had already paid
for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's so many of those horror stories out there, and I ask everybody, and that's why I wanted to do these podcasts, because I was like, listen, this is who we are, right? I can tell you I'm going to take care of you, but when you have two friends saying, oh man, watch out, because this is what they're going to do, they're going to charge you more money at the end, it's going to take 2 years to build your home, and they're not going to do what they say they're going to do. You hear these things, and then so when I tell you, it doesn't mean anything, but 2 years later, when I'm still following through with what I said I was going to do,
exactly.
Now I'm backing up what I said.
Yeah.
Right? Exactly. Yeah, because I remember when we first started to break ground and everything, and I forget what had happened. We were supposed to break. Oh, I know what it was. When we went to our HOA to get our plans approved, we had they had denied us a couple of times, so it pushed it back to break ground. And I remember this. And so we were basing our coming to Texas off of when the house was going to be done, because we had to move into temporary housing in Virginia.
Okay.
So when the groundbreaking didn't happen like it was supposed to in April, it didn't happen until May when the physical groundbreaking happened. It pushed back the delivery of the home. So I go back to Brett, fully transparent. He was like, Mr. McGlawn, we're looking. So I was like, Brett, can you give me a ballpark of when the house is going to be ready? He says, I don't like doing that because I don't want you to base everything, but what I can tell you is you guys should be in the house by December. So, and he said it could be up to December 31st. So I was like, okay. And that's what we based our whole move on what he said. And when I tell you that Brett and Justin y'all worked on our home diligently, because we started in April. I think y'all broke ground in May. We walked into our house and we moved into our house January 16th. Now, when we got into October, we had another meeting on Friday, and Brett said, Keith, I'm going to tell you like this. December is not going to be reachable. And I was like, when? And he said January. I was cool with it because he was so upfront in October for me. I'm like, okay, we can make this adjustment. It's an easy adjustment. When we come into Texas, when we're going to do whatever we have to do. So we made the adjustment. He was like, yeah, I'm looking at like January 16th. I said, is this a hard date? He said, yeah. I said, I think what we got going on now and where we're going to be at and this, that, and the third, I think January 16th is good. Again, we based our whole entire move on January 16th. So we moved from Virginia to Texas December 28th. And we got down here. We stayed with family for 2 weeks, and we moved into our house on January 16th.
When you live with family for 2 weeks, you're moving into your own.
Oh, let me tell you something.
Oh, yeah.
Mother-in-law, no problem.
Yeah, right. But yes, and we
Family.
did. Yeah, we did, and like I said, again, the full transparency was wonderful. And then to hear, like, to go back with Angela, to hear these horror stories that we heard, and then some of the people on our neighborhood when we would come visit, because I would come down here every month. I flew in every month to visit, and that's another thing I wanted to tell you about Brett and Justin. Every month I come to visit. I would come in on a Thursday night. I would meet Brett or Justin at the house on Friday. They had, and when I tell you they had everything ready for me, they met me on time. We did the walkthrough. They did everything that we talked about, the questions. They were always ready for me. Not some months, every month.
Yeah,
I'm telling you,
it was a really
was
good
one of the
experience.
best experiences I've ever had in my life when it comes to building my
It's your largest investment you've probably ever
absolutely
made.
yes.
And it
in
should
my
be a
life.
good experience.
Right, and
That's what we strive for.
was outstanding. I'm here to tell this story. It was great.
And then listen to other neighbors.
That's what made
Really,
it even.
like the neighbor that lived next door to us
Okay.
watched our house being built.
Mm-hmm.
They went through a nightmare. I mean, a nightmare. There were times that they would go out and they would call, like, "Are you guys going to come and work on our house?" And they watched you guys out there every day.
They said, "Y'all, they had somebody at your
Every
house
day.
every day." I said, "Yeah, I know." And they were just amazed when we told them, the timeline. The neighbors was like, "Man, y'all house is coming together quickly." I said, "Yeah, these guys are heaven sent. They told us everything that's going to be going on. They let us know when we're going to get this, when we're going to do that." And it was, because my thing was that construction loan. So I'm going to tell you that right now. That was the other thing that, I was watching that construction loan all the way up until the end. I was like, man, this, how construction loan works with
Oh, you're
interest.
paying interest every month,
yeah.
huh?
So,
Yeah.
and you guys were totally aware of it. You guys knew it. You guys stayed the focus, and you got our house built.
You mess with somebody's money, you kind of upset them. So
Yes, indeed.
we partnered up with that Builder Trend program because it's transparent, like you said. It's wide open. You're not going to get charged with one extra dollar at the end of the build that you didn't sign off on.
Yeah.
And you saw that, right? I didn't hit you at the end with any extra money. I'm not going to.
And you know what? And you actually came out. Oh, and this was the other thing I forgot to tell you about the steps. So, the concrete, because I learned a lot about concrete. Y'all taught me a quick lesson about. I learned about how a whole foot in can save me a whole bunch of money.
Yeah.
I did not know that until I built this house. A foot, because we had to go in a foot each way to at least come down close to our price point. But this was the part that was really good to me, was when they had to put the steps in, and then I talked to Brett, and you guys got together, and y'all came up with the ramp. So my first question was, how much that ramp gonna cost me now? Because I thought it was going to inflate the price. And Brett was like, "No, sir, we're gonna do this within the budget. We're gonna give you the ramp. It won't cost you no more than what you're paying right now," which I thought was a really good thing. Because I was ready for, I got to pay another $30,000. Told you I found out about concrete, so I knew that rent would be about $30,000 more or something like that if we had to put this ADA. But Brett was like, "No, Keith, the way we doing the concrete and everything, it should all fit within the budget." I was like, cool. That was another thing that was really cool too, was that.
Well, we know budgets are important to you, so they definitely need to be important to us as well.
Mm-hmm. The other one big thing that I know too, because it was two things. One was the woods. So Brett said to me, Brett, this is one thing I liked about you guys, and I didn't know it was you guys in the background. It was Brett delivering the good news. Brett said, "Keith, listen, so when we came down in April, I think the wood prices that went down. So when we got delayed because of trying to get it approved through the HOA, Brett said, what we're going to do, Keith, is we're going to stay with the April prices for you." He said, "Because I think the prices are going to go up." He said, "But my boss said that we'll honor the April prices of the wood," which I thought was great, because I found out about wood too, how that goes up. Which is
Commodity, yes.
with everything. So that was another good thing. And I want to shout out to Ashley. Okay.
Ashley Cachet Mortgage.
Oh my God. Me and Ashley, that's the finance lady, if you guys don't know who she is. She's the money girl. She was the one that me and her we had to work together very well. And me and Ashley went through some things. And Ashley, I got upset a couple of times, but it was nothing. It was an error on something that was going on with the finance. And we had to fix it. me and Ashley did, and boy, did we fix it. But Ashley was there with me, and that's why I said I have to shout out to her.
Yeah,
Ashley,
for sure.
I got a lot
So
of
your
respect
VA
for her.
loan.
I was a VA
Right?
loan,
So,
yes.
So
And-
Ashley and Cachet, they work great.
Oh
obviously,
my
right?
God, they did. And like I said, we went through some things with VA trying to get these papers together and everything on a mistake that happened 40 years ago.
Oh
in
my
my
gosh.
life. 40-year mistake. And it never showed up on none of my, financial portfolio my entire life until this house. And when it did, it drove me crazy.
But she helped you through.
But she got me through about 3 days. It was about 3 days.
So what we love about Ashley is you worked with Ashley from day one all the way through the end.
All the way to the end.
Yeah, some banks kind of departmentalize, and you'll work with one person, the next person to close. With Ashley, you work with her. She's
All the
your
way
one point of contact, and you work with her every time.
Ashley was even there when we got lost. And where did we have to go do the closing at? Where were we? Oh, we was in Spring Branch. And we had to go to the title company, right? So the title company, the darn GPS takes you to another building. And we're going to closing. And I called Ashley. I said, Ashley, this is not where these directions is taking us. I am somewhere on the side of the road. Tell me where we are. And Ashley's like, Keith, GPS take you here. You got to make a left at this light, go right here. Then it's sitting up in the park. Like,
R&D even helped with directions.
they
See?
sure did.
They got you.
They
Shoot.
sure
So we
did.
got mortgage taken care of, plans taken care of, design taken care of, and obviously your warranty and all that taken care of. So look pretty good on the home, right? So now I got a question. This is an important one. You ready,
Okay.
Keith? And then I have over for you, Angela. So how the Steelers looking this year? What do you think?
Man, I don't know. Look, you gave me all this assurance stuff here. You gave me, now you're gonna ask me some hard questions here. I have no idea. Look, this is a hurry up and wait situation right here.
If you ask my wife, she's a Cowboys fan. So if you ask her, she's like, you know what? We're just set up for disappointment. I just plan on disappointing again. So
this is the first year of me, and I've been a fan back since the 7th. This is the first year that I have no idea what we're going to do. I have no. I don't even. We don't even have a game plan to talk about amongst my fan friends that I have. We just don't know. We're gonna have to hurry up and wait on this one for real.
okay.
Yeah,
Well,
we
I
don't
know you're a big fan, and I wanted to ask you because my wife's good friend is a big Steelers fan as well. So we always, if Cowboys and Steelers aren't playing, right, then we root for the Steelers when she's around. But when they're playing,
I
we just
got
kind
you,
of like a little bit of,
I got you. Yeah.
Oh, shucks.
But one of the things I know Texas has brought me though, because I now want to go to Dallas to see the Steelers play Dallas. So one day when we do play, I want to try and get up to Dallas to see that, and Houston. So we get the Texans also. So those will be my 2 games in Texas that I definitely got to make
Yeah, sure.
while I'm here now for sure.
We did make it to a Spurs game.
Yeah, we did. Shout out to the Spurs. We did get a chance to see the Spurs
Monday
play
night.
the other day. Yeah.
So
we get in Texas.
this wonderful man, Angela, y'all been married coming up on 30 years, I believe.
30 years in November.
So what's your favorite trait about him?
He makes me laugh.
Oh, I can tell you I've been laughing. I've never laughed so hard in a podcast. I've done a bunch of them. So
He makes me laugh.
good.
And I try and do my best job to make her laugh every time. And it's nothing but a smile that will make us get through our years. Without prayer and smile, I think we wouldn't have made this home. We do.
Amen.
And we laughed at a lot of things getting this house built. We did. We go back. We think back and we crack up at some of the stuff that that we joked about and things like that. Getting the house built and everything.
There are going to be things that happen as a build of a home, like you mentioned, Angela. There's going to be things happen. It's built with human hands. We're not perfect, but when homeowners just say, "I know R&D's got it," when they trust in us, the process just is rolling. But if they always, want to be, oh, y'all mess something up, mess something up. I didn't intentionally mess your home up. I mean, I will fix it, but and I want to tell y'all, thank y'all for trusting in us, believing in us, and allowing us to build your beautiful dream home, because I know it's y'all's forever dream, like you mentioned earlier, and you trust that large investment in us, and I'm glad our team did exactly what we say we're going to do, pull through with it. So
And more.
So if we're sitting down having a drink, and you could ask me any question, doesn't matter, business, personal, what would it be? I always like to ask this question. So if you could ask me anything, just to get to know me better, what would it be?
I would ask, where'd you get your boots?
So good.
I like her. I saw
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of a story on these, if you got a minute. So the story is R&D is real big in fundraisers. Anything with the kids, we're going to support. So there's an organization around here called Wade Buzzey Memorial. He actually went to Tarleton, where I went to college. He passed away tragically, and since then they've been doing a fundraiser in his name. The money goes back to the kids that show projects. So I'm at his function, just there supporting it, and these boots were an auction item. And I'm like, those boots are probably like $700-800. If I wanted to buy them at D&D, which is not D&D anymore, it's Murdoch's now. But I said, I'll see. So I was at 700, and then the guy went 800, and I'm like, well, I'll go 900, and I end up getting them. Right? I was like, oh, sweet. And they're like, oh, you can exchange them, no big deal. Okay, so my wife says, "Yeah, they look like pineapples. I hope you can get a different. I hope you can get a different pair." And I said, "Oh yeah, they said I can change them in." So I roll into D&D and I put them on the counter. And she goes, "I said I want them. You hold your hand up long enough, you actually win. But I want them in a live auction." And I said I need to exchange them. She goes, "Oh, they're the wrong size." And I was like, "I'm not sure. I haven't put them on, but I just don't like them. I like the Lucchese brand, but I like to pick a different boot." I think so. Let me get the manager. The manager's like, "Nope, that's the boot." And I'm like, I was like, I can only see now my wife, and she goes, "Well, sir, you gotta understand, they're very comfortable boots." I said, "I have no idea. I'm sure they're comfortable." I said, "But I just don't like them." And she's like, "Well, I'm just telling you, that's the boot." So I put them on, and they were actually the size. So I just walked out of the store with them. So I was at the Houston Stock Show, and there's a guy there shining boots. And he, this boot shine guy, "Hey, shine your boots up. And I was like, "I got a deal for you." I said, "What do you charge?" He's $16. I said, "I will triple your money if you can make those black." He goes, "I can do it." I said, "Dark as you can get them." He goes, "I can do it." I went back, and he's like, "I'm still working on them." I went back, he's like, "I'm still working on them." I went back, and he's like, "I can't get them black." So anyway, here they are. They are very comfortable boots, but I'm glad you asked me. It's funny because this is like a love or hate boot, because so many people say, "Man, those things are so awesome."
They're cool.
And then you'll have people
cool.
say like, "What is that?" And my wife's like, "What's a pineapple?" Is what it is.
It does look like
Yeah,
pineapple.
now that you say like pineapple, I can see
It
pineapple.
looks just
but
like-
I will wear them.
She did a side-by-side comparison. She has a picture of it, of a pineapple and then this boot. We were actually at my daughter's Business Professionals of America. She was the state historian, and we were up in Dallas, and I just recently got the boot, and I was up there sitting like this, and she took a picture of it, and she put it next to a pineapple and said, "Who wore it best?" The pineapple or the boot? So anyway, that's a great question. I appreciate that. You got one for me, Keith?
What made you want? I guess what made you want to start satisfying your customers like you do in the business? Was it bad experience, or was it? What was it? Was
I
it?
tell you what. I'll tell you what got me into home building, and then I'm going to kind of tell you what evolved to this. So what got me into home building was I was working at HEB, and I was currently building my home. So this was back in 2002. I started the process like you in 2000, and then I was actually building it in 2002. That's when my daughter was born. So we're building my home. Don McGlawn, a great builder, and going through the process, same as y'all. He's doing a great job. He's doing what he said he'd do. Very blessed to have him as my builder. And I was like, I'm working for HEB. They're working me like 70 hours a week. My daughter's, I barely ever see her, and it's killing me. It's killing me. And he's like, Ryan, he goes, "Why don't you get into home building? You're a very personal person. You do." I said, "Man, first thing about home building, And he goes, "Oh, no, you'll learn and you'll be great at it." And he pushed me and motivated me into being a home builder. And I kept always talk to guys like, "God, give me a sign, give me a sign." Well, he gave me a sign, and I listened, gave me a second sign, didn't listen. And on the third sign, it was like, "Okay, I got it. I got you, God, I got you, So then it's like, okay, I'm going to do this. So I actually took about a $17,000 a year pay cut to go into the home building world. Started working for a track builder, so that's why I know about these tracks, semi-custom stuff. And that's where I think I'm going to answer your question, Keith, is because from there I started realizing that when a homeowner came into Syntex and I want to move a plug, they couldn't move a plug. I mean, you can't move anything. you can't make any changes. And I can see the frustration. Like, man, I'm paying this money for this home. And it may have been $200,000, but still that's a lot of money to that person at the time. And they can't make any changes. They get frustrated design. So then I ended up going on my own. Started with doing little remodels, busting tile out. I mean, whatever it took, building fence, building driveways. I was just, call it roughnecking, but I was the bottom feeder of the construction world.
Okay.
And I just started going my way up. And as I started building custom homes for people, I always listen. God gave me 2 ears, 1 mouth. I'm going to listen more than I talk. And when I listen, I would hear people say things like, you know, obviously back then I didn't have all the programs. So I'd be like, okay, you owe me an extra $15,000 because of the change orders. And, you know, 6 months ago you agreed to do this and then this and then this. And it's all in some in email form, some in text form, some in communication. And they're coming like, I didn't realize this would be that much. And I was like, oh, I could see the frustrations. Like, okay, I need to do a better job letting a customer know. I got very overwhelmed, Ryan, at the tile store. There was so many selections. I just got lost. So then I tried to go with the customer because I want the experience to be better. And then I discovered that I'm not the guy. Like I don't have an eye to see what tile goes with. So it's like, okay, I got to hire somebody. So it's just every time I see a customer, I guess what's made us who we are today is every time I see a customer that has a complaint, that has an issue with something that I wish this was better, then we as a company figure out a way to make that better. And at the end of the day, we ended up giving a customer a great product like y'all. So can we still get better? Absolutely. You know, before y'all, way back, the warranty, I would sub it out to another company. Well, that company's not going to take care of that home like I should take care of that home. So for example, you know, you called us on that little issue with the concrete. We're going to come out. No one else is going to take care. If that was a warranty company, they're going to say your concrete didn't fail. It's not your home, but your flat work. You know, your driveway is fine. It is what it is, and they're going to walk down the road. Me, no, that's not the expectation that I have for my customers. So I'm going to take care of it. So when we brought warranty back in home, and HEB taught me this. HEB taught me a lot of great stuff, and I don't want to take nothing from them. They did a great job. I was there for 5 years, but they taught us in training that you can do the very best job getting that product in that store at the cheapest price possible. You can clean it. You can make it pretty. You can wrap it. You can do everything right with that store. But if a customer walks out that door and the bag busts on their groceries and they hit the ground, or if you're not in a good mood and you give them a bad experience on their way, that's their last thing they remember about you. You can do 2 years perfect. Yeah. But if you mess up in warranty, and the homeowner gets a bad taste in their mouth, all of a sudden, all the good I've done, it goes away.
Yes.
You know, so it's like, why would I give my warranty away to somebody else? That's me. That's my reputation.
That's your face. You're the face of it.
That's good. Yeah. So why don't I just keep it in-house and I take care of it? And we have amazing trade partners that partner up with us. And what's good about those guys is, you know, I give them a lot of work. So when I ask for something on the flip side, like, hey, listen, this isn't quite right, we need to take care of it, we take care of it. Because they know I'm going to give them a lot of work, right? So when we have that partnership with our trade partners, they get a check every Friday. Well, I'm sorry, this week it's Super Bowl week for Christians, but it's Holy Week, right? So they're
no, you did not say Super Bowl week.
I like that.
I do too. I'm gonna steal that line from. I'm tell you right now, this Super Bowl week, y'all, for Christians. I'm telling you.
Super Bowl week for Christians. So we're closed Friday. So we're giving checks Thursday, but pretty much every Friday, you get checks. We Builder Trend, what it also does is it can forecast for our guys. Okay. So my tile installer can go on there and look and say, okay, what do I have coming up 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months from now? Because as soon as your home starts, I key it in that Builder Trend program, right? And it schedules that home out. My tile car can go there and say, oh, okay, I see in 3 months I have the Smith home, and then I have the Jones. I have 3 homes in May to do, and they can see that. So now he can forecast, and he can say, do I need to hire more guys? Mm-hmm. Do I need to get another crew? Because he wants to take care of us because we take care of him. So it's an amazing, and what brought me here was that, but what's got us to where we are today is just by me adapting and changing the processes every day.
That's good.
The design center we just rolled out here this last couple of weeks ago. I mean, this is like, I just hear people say like that, like, man, I didn't have time to drive all over San Antonio, and I don't need 300 tile selections. I just need 10 tile selections, So what we did was we condensed it. We brought still great high quality products but we minimized it. So if you're that type of customer, it's like, oh yeah, Ryan. So we do now so you know what it is. So in your initial meeting, when we start drawing your home, remember when Elizabeth said, what do you want? We walk you in the room and we say, and it's in our garage of our model home, and it's like, what do you think? And if you say, oh yeah, this is plenty plumbing selections, this is plenty tile selections, this is plenty sink selections, and if you say we're good, that's great. Then we'll pick everything right here, and then that gives you peace of mind, saying, I know where I'm going. Yeah. And of course, you save time because you're not driving to all those different supply houses, right?
Absolutely, and it was a great experience for us, though. Just so you'll know, it was great.
No, it is.
We had fun. I tell you, Amy made it great. Amy was tremendous. She was great, man. Amy was on it. When I tell you, that lady has a artistic design mind. She was like, because Angela would tell her, and here's a funny story. Angela wanted a white kitchen. My wife wanted white cabinets. And Amy came up with something, I'll never forget it. And Amy said, well, I don't know about white. Angela said, yep, white. I want white. You remember what she did? And Angela and then Amy said, well, maybe the color. Angela put on her cell phone and got her Pinterest thing and showed Amy, this is what I like. Amy said, that looks, she was like, she
that's
just never
what
saw
we'll
it. That's what we'll do. Just like, so you're right. And I love your, how you handle I love the way you fix the customer first. Because believe it or not, that's the way I am when it comes to a lot of things that my expectations is that anybody who wants my money should hopefully make sure that I'm fixed first and make sure that I'm happy. Not the service. The service is always easy. I tell people, because I'm in the computer business, the service is easy. I could fix your computer in a minute. But if I don't fix you first to make you comfortable, it don't even matter how well I fix that darn computer, because you're already pissed off at me with a fixed computer. But I'd rather you be happy with me and it don't even work. But you know that it's going to, because I promised you that I was going to do something and it was going to get done. So I love your your methods and how you're going about doing your business, because it was wonderful for us.
Great.
So,
well, I want to wrap it up with Keith. Thanks for the laughs. I appreciate it. Angela, thank you for loving this man for 30 years and keeping him around, because we love to have him. And I hear you got your birthday present.
Yep, I sure do.
What'd you get? Tell me before we leave, because I want to
I got a red Corvette.
How many horsepower?
I don't know. That's fast. I just put
Corvette is fast.
It's fast. It's really fast. It's low to the ground, so we get in it slow, but we can move fast. And once we're in it, but
I just want to say you got something real special.
Yeah, you do.
Thank you.
R&D is
well.
very
I wouldn't be
special.
here without amazing homeowners like yourself.
You really got something
and that y'all entrusted in us. And I want to thank y'all very much for trusting in us and being here today. Of course, it's a long drive over from Bulverde, so you made the trip, and just blessed to have y'all here. And I'm glad we could provide a great product for you. So thank y'all.
Thank you again for
your time, and thanks everybody for joining in on the R&D Nation. And Keith and Angela here had a great time, and I hope you enjoyed it. And stay tuned, because we got a lot more fun stuff coming to you.